Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. Let me know where you're from while people are joining us. And also let me know if you can hear me or see me. That would be amazing. This week, we're going to do a full hour of mini readings. Awesome. Thank you, Deborah, for letting me know. Thanks, Crystal. Awesome. So, again, this week, a full hour of mini readings. So I hope you're ready to meet your spirit guides. But first of all, before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Yamile Yemoonyah, and I'm a spirit guide medium, which means that I can sense, see, hear, and feel your spirit guides around other people. I'm also a Hay House author. I'm writing a book about spirit guides right now that will be published next year. And I'm the founder of Spirit Guide Society, which will hopefully open at the end of the month. So I'm excited about that. And you can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com. And if you haven't seen my website yet, you can check it out here. So let me see who we have here today. We have Deborah from Florida. Hi, Deborah. We have Crystal from Crawley, Louisiana. George from Low Desert, Southern California. I remember you definitely came the last few times. Aubrey is here from Virginia. Hi, Aubrey. William from Florida. We have Elisa from El Paso, Texas. My brother lived there for a little bit. And who else? Amanda from Indiana, now in Arizona. And we have Elena from Colombia. Hi. Maureen from New York. And Charlene from England. Lloyd from Canada. And Victor from Orange County in California. And Liz from Carlsbad, California. Oh, that's where Hay House is, like their headquarters in Carlsbad. Then we have Buffy from Boise, Idaho. And Dawn says hi. Hi, Dawn. All right. So let me know also, do you know at least one of your spirit guides already? So type yes or no in the chat. And Liz says she didn't realize that Hay House was in Carlsbad. Yes. All right, so we see, let me see. You guys are so fast typing. Okay, Maureen says she knows one of our guides at least. Dawn says no. Lloyd says no. Amanda says no. Deborah says believe I do. If you believe you do, you do. Do always trust yourself. That is my biggest message. If there's one thing that I can teach you, it's to trust your own intuition. You don't need anything else really. Just trust your own intuition. Alyssa says no. Buffy says yes. Ty says no. Victor says no. Aubrey says no. Charlene says no. Crystal says, you told me it was an angel. There you go. Liz says, I think so. Again, trust your intuition. That's the most important part of this whole like spirit guide communication thing. Elena says, not really. Have an idea though. Again, trust your intuition. Sometimes you just might think, oh, it feels like it's female, or it feels like my spirit guide is male. Trust that. Go with it. Even if you don't know anything else, or maybe you know, I think it's an animal spirit, or maybe you think, I think it's an ascended master. Trust yourself. All right. So also, while you're at it, if you know anyone who would also like to know who their spirit guide is, share this, like invite them here right now to come and join us here. There's a share button. For me, it's up here. I think for you, it might be up there then. So click that button, invite your friends. And then if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, come on over here. There's a link in the description, either above or below, depending on where you're watching. Only here can I give you a mini reading. And like I said, I think I mentioned this already. If you have tech issues, reload the page. So if you can't hear me or can't see me, and you're the only one, then it's probably something going on your side. And what you need to do is reload your page, refresh your browser, and that usually helps. All right, so let's dive right in, shall we? So let me see, there were some more people that said, George says, yes, but hard to connect. Liz says, different than angels, though. We'll get to that in a second. Courtney says, I think so. No thinking. If you think you do, you know your guide, then you do. Trust yourself. I'm going to repeat this all, like the entire hour. William says, yes, but not a name. Was told I have many. Yes, we all have a team of spirit guides, not just one. And there are 7 different types as well. And I'll talk about that in a second. Courtney says, can you see my chat? Yes, I can see your chat. All right, so there are 5 things you need to know before I can do the readings for you. So first of all, my definition of spirit guides might be a little bit different from what you hear from other mediums or psychics, because they mostly go with the traditional description of a spirit guide that is based on spiritualism. And spiritualism says that all spirit guides were once humans. I don't necessarily agree, because if you look around the world, there are different kinds of spirit workers. You have mediums in all kinds of cultures. You have shamans, you have witches, you have whatever other names they go under. Sangomas, for example, in South Africa, spirit workers. And they usually work with spirit guides. So some entity that works with them and helps them in their work. They are not all humans. So I took the term spirit guide and made it a little bit bigger, because I want to be inclusive. So my guides told me there are 7 types of spirit guides. That includes angels. It includes ancestors, so the ones that we might have known, but also the ones that are going further back that you might not have known. And the ones that go further back are actually the more powerful ones, because they've been on the other side longer, and they can guide you throughout your entire life. Your grandma was here or oftentimes was here when you were born, so she can't be your main guide. Makes sense, right? But like an ancestor that's further back, maybe even hundreds or thousands of years ago, can be your main guide. It can also be an ancestor from a past life. So we have angels, ancestors, then comes nature beings. So that's elves, fairies, gnomes, and all kinds of other names they're known under around the world. We have star beings, otherwise known as aliens. But star beings are a bigger group than aliens. So aliens are just a subgroup of star beings, because, for example, the stars themselves are beings, are also beings. They also have a consciousness, and you can work with the stars. So, but there's also the aliens. I don't like to call them that, because then people think about scary Hollywood movies, and that's not what it's like. So where were we? Angels, ancestors, nature beings, star beings. Then we have ascended masters, who were once humans but left the reincarnation cycle because they reached enlightenment and don't have to reincarnate anymore. So then now they're helping from the other side. Then we have deities, gods and goddesses, again, from all cultures, from all spiritual traditions. And last but not least, we have animal guides, otherwise known as animal spirits. And that's the 7 types of spirit guides that can come through for you today. One little remark about animal guides. A lot of people call them spirit animals. I do not do that, because a lot of people use it in a very, like in a not very nice way. And animal spirits are very closely connected to indigenous cultures, and I think we should be respectful of indigenous cultures and not appropriate their spiritual traditions and make fun of them. So some people say, for example, Tina Fey is my spirit animal. I get like the sentiment behind it, but it's no, So I call them animal guides or animal spirits instead of spirit animals. Anyway, so these guides, when they come through, they show themselves in a way that makes sense to us as humans. For example, angels, they usually show themselves to me and to lots of others as human looking with big white wings, sometimes with black wings, which is not a bad sign. But it doesn't mean that like when they are in their own dimension that they actually look like this or that they actually use their wings to fly around the universe. So they give us an image that we can work with, that we can understand. And the same goes for names. They have name, well, they don't have names. Most of them do not have names because only humans have names. For example, animals don't have names, like our pets or cows, or we are the ones that give them names because it makes it easy for us. They don't need it. Like my dog doesn't need a name. He's totally fine without it. I'm the one who called him, or my boyfriend is the one who called him Sancho. So it's easier for us to call him and interact with him. And it's the same for spirit guides. So when they come, they will sometimes give us a name that we can work with. If you don't have a name, that's totally fine. You do not need a name. If you absolutely cannot live without the name, then give your spirit guide a name. Just they are totally fine with it. There is my mentor, famous medium from England. His name is Tony Stockwell. He has a guide that he only ever sees him as a shadow, like a light shadow, if that makes sense, like a light being, but he doesn't see like what that guide looks like. He doesn't know what he or she, he doesn't even know what gender it has. He doesn't know the name, and he just calls him Star, and that's it. So don't get hung up on a name. Don't get hung up on what they look like. It's not as important as you think. But of course, it's nice to know. So if the information I get, I will tell you. Then also, and I mentioned this before, you all have a team of guides. And the one that has the most important message will be the one that steps forward when I give you your mini reading. Listen again, the one that has the most important message is the one that steps forward. So this might be a guide that you already know, or it might be a different one. It might be one that has been with you your entire life. It might be one that is only with you for this year because you're going through a divorce, and this guide is a specialist in helping people through divorces. So you have to have an open mind. And then the last point, actually there's two more things, but this is the most important thing, so listen up. You will get the message you need to hear, which might be a little different from what you want to hear or expect to hear. Your guides know what you need at this point, and that's what they will tell you. All right, and the last thing that you need to know is how I work. I close my eyes when I do readings because it helps me focus. That's the only reason. My head usually goes a little bit to the left because to me it feels like the information is coming from here. So it's a little bit like I'm listening, even though I usually don't get the messages through clairaudience, so I don't hear the messages. I get downloads, so I just know things, or I get visuals in my mind's eye. All right, so, and then also, I don't get to pick who like for me, it's a little bit like I pick up the phone as if someone's calling me. I pick up the phone, and then I don't get to dial. I just get to see whoever is on the other end. So I pick up and I see who's there, and then I'll tell you who's there. That's all that's all I can do. All right, and in between, sometimes because this is a three-way conversation, I will sometimes ask you, does this make sense? Because I get information that I do not always understand. Like maybe I'll get, I see a banana and I have no idea what that means. But then I will tell you, okay, I don't know why, but I'm seeing a banana. Does that mean something to you? And then maybe you say, and maybe you say, yes, my grandmother loved bananas. She would eat 3 a day or something. So then you have to, help me out here, because this is a little bit like detective work. I get like clues and I have to follow them and figure it out and then tell you what I get. All right, so and here's what you need to do now. You need to find the ask a question section. If you're on your computer, it's like right down here, ask a question. If you are on your phone, you can when you type in the chat, start typing, it will say, do you want to ask this as a question or something like that. So then say yes. There's also the little plus sign right next to the box where you type in on the left side, at least here on my laptop. You can click on that plus. That also redirects you basically to the ask a question section. So when you go to the ask a question section or type in a chat and make it a question, type newbie. I don't want to see anything else. No questions, no hello, no nothing. Just newbie, so I can quickly go through the list and find you guys. And I only do readings, at least now, for people who've never had a reading before. Again, do not type newbie in the chat. Type it in the ask a question section so I can find you quickly, because in the chat there's too much going on. All right, I hope everyone understands this. If not, help each other out, please, in the chat. I know we have people here who always come and who know how it works. All right. I think, yes, we can go. All right, let me see. Let me check the chat real quick if there was anything. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to pick someone, and I'm randomly picking people, and I trust that Spirit will pick the right people. So do not get upset if you don't get a reading, just come back next time. All right, and again, only if you've never had a reading from me. Let's be fair. All right, I'm gonna invite you on screen to do a reading. So I'm going to invite Ty, and Ty is gonna get a little notification that says that I invited him on screen, and he can say, yes, I want to come on screen, and then I'll do a reading. And I'll invite a few people at the same time, so we don't have to wait so long. So again, only type newbie. I'm not gonna pick anyone who typed something else. We have Lil Pap or Eli Pap. Sorry, mispronounced your name. I'm not sure. You have to tell me. Okay, I'm inviting you. I'm inviting Alyssa. And I'm just gonna keep going until someone shows up. I'm gonna invite Victor. You guys have to accept. There we go. We have someone. Yay.
Hi.
And we have people. I'm gonna start with. All right, I'm gonna start with. Tell me how to pronounce your name, please.
Hi, I couldn't hear you. Ileana.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Maybe that's me. Can you guys hear her? Let me know in the chat. But I can't hear you. Oh, then it's me somehow. Okay, hold on.
Can you hear me?
Okay, that's better.
Hi.
Yes, now I can hear you. Awesome. Hi. So
Hi.
how do I pronounce your name?
Ileana, it's not the full name. Ileana.
Ileana. Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Cyprus.
Okay, awesome. All right, Ileana, let me see. Sorry, I always look at people fairly intense, so don't be spooked out, but it helps me to connect. All right, let's see. All right, this is gonna. It takes me about 30 seconds to connect. All right, Ilyana. There's an angel here for you. This is an angel, and the first thing I see is that this angel is male, and he does have black wings. And I mentioned that earlier. And I want to say this is generally true for angels with black wings. This is nothing negative. There's nothing to worry about. So please don't misunderstand this. It's just a
Okay.
certain kind of angel, and it means that yeah, your angel is a certain kind of angel, and then explain that. So he tells me that you are someone who can walk on the border between light and dark. What does that mean? It means that in your life you've had situations that you saw the darker side of life. Would you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so oftentimes people have like had traumatic experiences or witnessed um like things that are on the darker side of life. And when that happens, and I see an angel like this, it means that you have the ability to walk between light and dark. That does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. It's a gift that you have, and it means that you can help people go from the dark into the light. So when someone, and that depends on like who the person is. So let me ask what other info he has for you. Right. He says to not be afraid of the dark. And that can be literally, some people are afraid of the dark.
I'm afraid of it.
Are you?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's exactly why, because you have this ability to walk between like the light and the darkness, and you can feel that. You can feel that the darkness is kind of close to you, and that makes you afraid. That makes you think. That makes you afraid of the like literal dark. But when you accept that you are like on that you are like what you I have to find a word for people like you, but you're like someone who walks, yeah,
Verge.
on the
Yeah.
border, yeah, on the verge, exactly. And if you accept that, um then you can really bloom and your light will really come out. So let's see. Yeah, so he wants you to know to not be afraid of the dark and to really look into what specifically you're afraid of and to specifically look at what you're afraid of. So when you go to bed tonight, um, it's fine if you leave the light on, but just think about it or journal about it. What is it that I'm afraid of and turn off the light? And you don't have to answer that right now, but just for yourself, what specifically, exactly am I afraid of? And then realize that when you look at what you're afraid of, that's where your greatest gift is. And you can, so it's basically like your gift comes wrapped in in fear. And if you like unwrap your gift, then you'll see what's inside, but you have to face your fear a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see what else. And he's showing me a little child. Do you have a child?
No,
No?
no.
Okay, then let me ask what that is about. Okay, I think this might actually be you as a child.
That's what I was thinking.
When you were a child, could you see things like when you went to bed? Like, could you like
Yes,
see shadows or something
yes,
like this?
yes.
Yeah,
And small things.
yeah. Um, now I understand. Okay, so he's showing me you as a child, and again, it's the same theme, like this being afraid of the dark, being afraid of the dark because it's fairly close to you. So again, think about what you're really afraid of, And then also try to face your own fears. That's really the main message here, because when you face your fears, like your gifts will come out, and you have like you can see things, you can sense things. That's why you're afraid, because you feel it, but maybe you can't see it anymore, but you can sense it. But if you face it, this is your greatest gift will come out, and there is like your purpose is also in there.
Okay.
And I have wait, hold on. All right, so let me describe him real quick. Yeah, he has dark hair, dark short hair, like I said, black wings. He's also completely dressed in black. A little bit like a yeah, like goth style. And he also like he himself, he's European ancestored, the way he shows himself, and he's wearing black boots. And he's your guardian. He's your guardian angel. So yeah, he's here to protect you, and he's here to work with you, specifically when it comes to your spiritual gifts, and he wants you to start developing them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I hope that makes sense to you.
Yeah, all of it. All of it,
Okay.
actually. Yes. Thank
Perfect.
you very much.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. There's also a book recommendation that I have maybe for you. I don't know if it's like too dark for you, but it's a very, very interesting book. It's called Sister of Darkness. I don't remember her name right now,
I will find it.
but you'll find it. And it's about someone who, from the beginning, like when she was a child, she could see like the negative entities. So what some people would call demons. And she could always see them, and she was afraid of them, but no, everyone said like, bullshit, like that's not true. So she kind of like tried to push it away, but later on she realized that was her like biggest gift, and now she helps people to get rid of like the negative entities that are with them. So she does the opposite of what I do. Like I connect people with their spirit guides. She makes sure that like these negative entities leave them alone. So that, and it's not like the book is awesome, like you might learn a lot from it, but just and I'm not saying you, and she's calls herself an exorcist. I'm not saying you have to be an exorcist, but it might be just interesting to you, because she's also someone who works like this, walks this path between light and darkness.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome. All right, so now we have, I think Victor was first, so we're gonna go with Victor. Yes, that's much better. I think, do you have 2 tabs open with this? Is that possible? I can't hear you anymore because you muted yourself. Okay, let me try. Oh, hold on. Yes.
Okay, that's better.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, hold on. And I think actually from my side. Give me one sec. Sorry. One second. Okay. Yeah, but that's better. No, there's still. Do you guys have an echo?
No, I'm fine.
Some people say they hear an echo. Why? Sorry, give me one second. It usually means that I have 2 tabs open. Maybe it's just. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna mute you one more time to see if the echoes. Yeah, okay, it's with you. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is like I'll keep you muted, but when I need your feedback, I will unmute you. Okay. All right. So, Victor, tell me where you're from.
Testing, California.
All right. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, with you, the information is coming really fast. So first of all, I saw a big dog with you. It could be like it could be a wolf, but I actually think it's a dog or something in between. So definitely big, wolf-like, darker, black and gray, I think. There's also a snake with you, a pretty big one, also grayish. And then I immediately got and this time I actually heard something. I got the information he's a magician. So let me ask you if that is like, maybe it could be literally, but I don't think so. But let me ask. Are you by any chance literally a magician?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Go ahead.
My numerical number is 11.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So, magician. That's where I was. All right. What that means is that you have like an incredible willpower. You might know that or might not know that, but you have an incredible willpower and you can use it to manifest things for yourself and for others, and to make that, like, your willpower is your tool to accomplish your mission in this lifetime. So what's super important for you is to really pay attention to your own thoughts and your own emotions, because they are more powerful than for most people. This means you have to make sure that you always that you're, first of all, that you raise your vibration as much as possible by thinking positive thoughts and turning negative emotions around. That doesn't mean that you can never be sad or never be angry or anything. It just means that, for example, if you're sad, that at the same time you have the awareness that, let's say, someone died or there's a breakup or whatever else it is that makes you sad. You always have to remember that when you feel negative feelings, that's fine, but you have to think about the higher purpose of things. So if, like, let's say a relationship ends, that means that the relationship wasn't supposed to be, that there is something better for you in the future. And if you keep that in mind, then it's fine to be sad or angry or whatever, as long as you have that higher minded thought at the same time. And that's very important, again, because you manifest things faster than other people. And I'm not even sure which one is talking, because I see these two, like the big dog or wolf and the snake. The dog wolf is on your left side. Like, he's always with you. He's on your left side. The snake is not always with you, but you can always, like, connect with it. The dog wolf-like being is male. The snake, I'm not sure. It doesn't tell me. Are snakes male or female? I'm not sure, but it doesn't tell me, so I don't know. But let me see, is there anything else? I think that's it. So let me know if that makes sense to you.
Yes, it makes total sense.
Yeah?
I
Okay,
saw wolves
awesome.
as a kid growing up all the time.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Then it's a wolf. Awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, remember,
And
with your thoughts,
you have to really
thoughts. And if you
Okay,
don't know how
thank
to
you.
do
And if
that,
you
then
don't know how to do that, then get
the law of attraction.
the law of
That's really
attraction.
important.
That's really important.
All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right. And now we have Alyssa. Hi, or is it
Hi,
Elisa?
Texas, El Paso, Texas.
No, I meant how do I pronounce your name? Elisa or Elisa or
Elisa, you got it. Elisa
okay.
with a E.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it depends on the country and on the ethnicity, like is if it's Elisa or Elisa. All right, let me see what I can get for you. Hmm. I think yours is a little bit shy. Let's see. All right, there's an ancestor here for you, and it's a female. She shows herself as an older lady, so it feels like yeah, grandmotherly. Doesn't necessarily have to be your grandmother, but could be, or it could be your great grandmother or further back. Let's see. But again, she shows herself as an elderly lady, gray hair, short hair, curly hair. And she's a quiet, I want to say introverted person, but with a lot of like inner strength. Does that sound like someone you might have known in your life, like a grandmother, great grandmother?
Mm,
It's okay to say
I
no.
know. Oh, no,
Okay.
I'm trying to
Okay.
just remember any of my grandmas.
Okay, so again, like this lady is like she shows herself older, so I want to say like maybe 70 or something, and she shows herself as like her personality. What I feel is like she's like quieter person, maybe introverted, maybe even shy, but like she has an inner strength, and if so if that doesn't make sense to you, then it is probably someone from further back. Let's see.
Actually, I could feel that somebody's here with me.
Okay. But does this description fit like with someone that you know? Like, could this be like a grandmother that has passed, for example?
Yeah, and there's like one of my grandmas I used to take care of. The other one I was kind of like
And she was more a quiet person?
um yeah, kind of, yes. Yes, she was
And
kind
would
of
you
it.
say she had like inner strength that you could feel even though she was more quiet?
Yes, she kind of kept her to herself.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm not entirely convinced, but let's see. So the way she shows herself, she is dressed in like more, let's say, sensible clothes, like some grandmothers wear. So she was definitely not like a show off. She
Oh
was
no,
very
then it's not that one.
okay. Then it's someone else.
It's somebody else.
She also she would have been like embarrassed to, let's say, walk around or be seen in a bikini, for example. So this is more someone I feel also religious.
Religious.
And again, this can be someone you might not even have known. This can be a few generations back. So let's see where this goes. Yeah, definitely religious. And I want to say Catholic, but I'm not 100% sure. But it could also be that she was just, yeah, she was following some kind of spiritual, and I want to say religious. She had her spiritual habits, let's say it like this, and it was an organized spiritual tradition that she followed. Could be like the Catholic Church, could be something else, but she also She also she went like in her lifetime she went through like a lot of difficulties, and they weren't necessarily like on like difficulties inside of herself, but more difficulties that came from outside. So there was trouble with actually providing for herself. She was on her own for at least part of her life and had to take care of herself, and this was in a time that wasn't like common that women were on their own. So she had to provide for herself, and that was like hard for her, and she wasn't always welcomed by her community, and I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, okay. Okay, now I get it. Okay, so yes, she had like the religious side, and she followed that, but she also had her spiritual side. Now it makes sense. And she had abilities. She had spiritual abilities, and she used them sometimes to help others, but that wasn't necessarily embraced by her community. And then so like that, and the fact that she at least part of her life that she was by herself made her an outsider. Okay, now what's so that's what I'm getting from her. Maybe if you like can ask your family, like your parents if they're still around, or grandparents if they're still around, describe this person and see if someone recognizes them, because it could be someone that someone else remembers but that you don't remember. Could be a great aunt or something. So just ask around a little bit. But let me see what the message is. Okay, this is about, she wants you to know that she's with you, and she wants you to know that it's okay. It's okay that sometimes people do not accept you. It's okay that sometimes you feel lonely. It's okay that that you are sad. And it feels like she wants to help you. And it feels like she wants to tell me that there is some kind of grief that you are going through. Would you understand that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And she says it's okay. Like, she's here to help you, and she's kind of like stroking your hair right now.
Yeah, she does that. Yeah, I feel that a lot.
Yeah. Okay. There you
Yeah.
go. And she, so yeah, she's with you, and she's like, she says she's, yeah, kind of like also representing your ancestors generally, especially. Oh, let me check if that which side that is, if I can, if she wants to tell me.
Thank you.
I want to say from your dad's side.
Oh my God. Yeah, my grandma
not-
did have like a white hair. My grandma did,
Okay.
but I don't remember if she was. I don't remember much of her. I just remember she used to visit us a lot, but I just don't know a lot about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, just ask like around in the family and see if this
She was
description
tall.
fits.
Is she tall?
I don't know. I can't see that.
Kind of.
I
She's
get
kind of
more
tall.
like the her characteristics and personality than like what she looks like. So let's see. She's basically saying like whatever you're going through at the moment, like it will pass. And to use it as an opportunity to get stronger, like on the inside, to get stronger and to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. I don't know I hope that makes sense to you. And that you're gonna get out of this situation better than you were before, and you're gonna and this situation will give you like also more self-confidence because you know you can do it. She says in the past you've been a little bit like you didn't really believe in yourself much, and
Sure.
now this is like helping you to believe in yourself more, to really be more self-confident, and that's going to help you in the future as well.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And she says, yes, like situations like this, they're not much fun, and it's okay to be sad or grieving or whatever it is. But remember, it's gonna make you stronger, and it's gonna help you move forward to where you really want to be. And she also says, really watch like who you surround yourself with. She says you have a tendency sometimes to attract people that are not the best fit for you. What does that make
True.
sense?
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
That's true.
so and she says rather like be like don't have a lot of friends or don't have a partner or whatever the situation is for a little while, instead of being with people that are not a good fit. Then just walk your path a little bit on your own, or with like not as many people as you would like, but then later on you will attract the right people.
Oh, great. Thank you. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, awesome.
She
Then
knows
yeah,
me.
ask your family about this person, and if you find out who it is, let me know. I'm curious.
Oh, wow, that's great.
All right, thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Thank you.
Bye. All right, so let's do a few more people. Okay, I'm gonna pick some people again. Okay, we have Amanda. I'm gonna invite you on screen. And Leo and Rebecca. All right, hi Amanda.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm excited. I've come plenty of times and you finally picked me.
Yay! Awesome. All right. So, oh, where are you from? I'm always curious where people are
Arizona.
from. Okay, awesome. Oh, you're from El Paso, right? Is that you?
Me? No, I'm from Indiana, now in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Sorry. There was someone else from El Paso. That's why. All right. Let's see. I do know you have a star being around you, but I'm not sure that's the one that wants to step forward. Give me 10 more seconds. Okay, yeah. So there's a star being with you. Yeah, like a lot of star beings, this one doesn't have a gender per se. It shows itself very Hollywood-like, like gray with like the big head and the almond-shaped eyes. It's taller than, let's say, the Hollywood ones. And it's not, it's actually not gray, it's blue. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it has the form of like these typical grays, but it's almost like interesting. It doesn't have like a physical body. It's more like as if it was, God, I don't even know how to describe this. Like when you look at the stars at night, you see like the universe, you see the stars. And if you imagine a shape like a gray, but that has like the stars inside of it, and there's also stars outside of it. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
It's almost like a shadow in the universe, but like alien shaped. I don't know how to better describe it. Yeah, almost as if you look at the stars and there's almost only the outline of an alien, and otherwise, like it's still the stars outside and inside. So let's see what the message is. All right, this is about healing, and this is a message that often comes from star beings. This is about healing a part of you that feels like it wants to, a part of you that feels like an outsider, and a part of you that feels like not belonging or not fitting in. And it's showing me you as a I want to say teenager. And there are some, of course, like most teenagers have these feelings of like feeling a little alienated and like not fitting in, and like this awkwardness throughout the transformation as a teenager. But with you, there was something else. There was something that made you feel like you weren't wanted. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Um, and your guide says you even though your life changed and you found people that you can vibe with that are more like your people, and you found like like your own way, you found your own niche in the world, there's still part of you that hasn't fully healed from that experience as a teenager. And so your guide is saying it's time to heal that part of yourself. Right, and he wants to do you, and I'm saying he, sorry, Arjun, but your guide wants you to do a specific meditation. So meditate for 15 minutes. So set a timer or something, and then put your hands on your heart and visualize blue light coming from the universe, from the center of the universe, coming to you and like entering your space through your heart chakra. So there's this blue light that comes like this, and your guide wants to let that light in and fill you up entirely. And really breathe in that blue light into your heart, and do that for 15 minutes. And while you do that, consciously breathe and focus on that light. Breathe in that light and breathe out any hurt feelings, any any negativity that comes from like this feeling of not being accepted, and breathe that out, and do that for 15 minutes. And your guide will work with you during that time to help you heal. And it's important that you do that because, let me see. There's some change coming in your life, and I feel it definitely has to do with your purpose. And I think it has to do with your like actual work here in the world. Does that make sense to you? Is there some change coming work-wise?
Yes.
Okay. So it's important for your work that you do this meditation and heal this part of yourself, even though you might think you already healed it or there's nothing like going on anymore. There's still a little bit and it needs to go. So
Okay.
that's what your guide wants you to do. And I think he wants to, your guide wants you to know the name. Fern, like Fern. That's the name I'm getting. Yeah, and I think that's it.
Fern for the spirit guide.
Yeah, that's the
Awesome.
name, Fern. I
Okay.
hope that makes sense to you and helps you on your path forward.
It does. Perfect sense. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. All right, thank you. All right, and then we have Leo.
Hi.
Hi, Leo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm from
Where are you
Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, awesome. Let's see. All right, I don't know who's here yet, but I'm already getting the message that you're a warrior. You have the soul of a warrior. You also have the soul of a protector. So, warrior, protector, guardian. I still don't know who's here, but I'm keep getting messages, so I'll just keep going. Sometimes that happens that I just get the message and then later on I see the guy. So yeah, warrior. I actually, yeah, I'm seeing like I'm not sure if this is a past life or something, but I see you with like a big, like kind of like a staff, but no, it's like, oh, hold on. No, it's a spare. It's a, at first I thought it was a staff with a crystal on the end, but it's actually a spare.
Mm.
All right. So, what I'm getting is that it's important for you to get up and fight. There's something in your life that asks you to get up and fight, and this is not necessarily about you. This is about something else. It's about like either someone else or a situation that you need to step up and really step into your light as warrior and make sure that the situation gets resolved, because there's otherwise someone else or a group of people, or I'm not sure what it is, could even be animals, I don't know, but there's something, some kind of beings that you need to protect. Does this make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Okay, now let me see who this is. Right. You have a jaguar with you. So an animal spirit. Jaguar is with you. The spare is definitely on the right side in your right hand. So when you take on this task, and again, it's important that you take on this task to the best of your ability. This is not just about you, this is about others as well, other souls, other beings. That's why you need to do it. And this is an opportunity for you to really grow into your purpose here on earth. And part of your purpose, it's almost like I keep like getting the word activist. Does that make sense to you? Do you do any kind of like activist work?
Yes, I do within like my family.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, it's important that you like step into that, and yeah, do that work and take it seriously, because that's definitely a part of your purpose. Yeah, and remember that spare. Like when you feel like you can't do it, or like something is working against you, just like really sit or stand, even better. Stand, your legs wide, and like really pretend that you're holding that spare, and visualize like your jaguar with you. This jaguar, male, female, I'm not sure yet. Male. on your left side. There are also ancestors with you, but yeah, we don't have time to get into that. But you also have ancestors with you. The whole they're all lined up behind you, so it's like really not just one. There's like, I don't know. I can only see like a few dozen, and then it kind of like disappears into yeah, where I can see it anyway. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Hold your head high. Hold your head high. There's some situation in your life right now that makes you go like a little bit like, but it's important that you put your shoulders back and hold your head high. And I think that's it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Well, what kind of activist work do you do, if I may ask?
Um, I've just always been the type of person to like, if I don't agree with something, the way someone's being treated, then I'll be that person in the family that be like, oh, that's not right, speaking up about it even when I was like young. And so people would look at me and be like, oh, well, she doesn't respect authority or da 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 da. But it's like,
Yeah.
that's not right. So I'm not just gonna be okay with it. So,
Yes.
and that's always been like who I am.
Yes. So yeah, your guide is definitely saying to step more into that role. Maybe like see if you can do that in a bigger way, not just inside the family, but
Mm-hmm.
find a way that you can use like that power that you have to do good in the world.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you are interested to get a full on 60-minute one-on-one reading, then you can book a session with me, and you can click that green button down here that just popped up. It says book a reading. And also today is the last day that you can get 25% off on a one-on-one reading. And let me give you the coupon code. Yes, here it is. So you can click that green button and use this coupon code during checkout, Spirit Guide 25. And again, this is the last day before the price goes up to full price. All right, so yeah, if that's something for you, and of course, like when it's a one-on-one reading, I go into much more detail. You can also ask questions, whatever's on your mind, and your spirit guides will answer your questions. Okay, so then also one more announcement. This month, we just like moved into October. This month, this theme of the month is bridging two worlds. So the next few episodes of the Spirit Guide Show will be all about bridging two worlds, and we start next week. And then the last one will be again a live Spirit Guide ceremony like last week, but this time about bridging two worlds. So next week we start with that, and invitations go out every Friday for the show episode on Saturday. So don't miss that. It's going to be interesting. And that's really it. So remember, if you want a one-on-one reading, click the green button, use coupon code Spirit Guide 25, and you can get 25% off. And I hope you are going to have an awesome week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, guys. Bye.